I'm just going to start off by saying, you know what, Pastor Jeff, you need to get your little girlfriends in check, period. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video lesson. This is my review for Divorce Sistas, episode 7, season 1, and the title was Brutal Honesty. Now, that was the best thing for me because I love an old nasty piece of roundhouse down to the function. So we're just going to put a pin in that, and I'll get to that at the end of this. Naomi, girl, a old nasty piece of roundhouse. Partially justified. And I know y'all are like, what? Yeah, partially. Because she got a lot of issues, but at the same time, she literally is sitting with all her friends sitting in judgment of her and her messy stuff, but sitting in judgment just the same. And they know her. So why are y'all even playing that game with her? She's vicious. She's vicious. And her mouth is vicious. And so is her actions. So why y'all sat and looked like y'all was so surprised that she when I say she Jean-Claude Van Damme them at the end, baby, couldn't have did it better myself. But anyway, a mess. There was a whole bunch going on. Let's just start here though. Now you almost lost me, Tyler, because you know I don't play with you like that. I don't play with you like that. Don't swing me over into no cliffhanger about nothing that done happened to nobody. Now Vaughn was supposed to off himself. Once I got here, this is always my issue with you. I just went through this with you with the movie Straw. I love the movie Straw. But you always have an issue about committing to what you wrote. If you wrote that Vaughn split his head to the white meat, I want Vaughn's head split to the white meat. Stop writing stuff and not committing to it. So I'm sitting here and I said, this is one of them times when I'm just sitting here waiting on the other shoe to drop. And I said, Tyler, if you drop this shoe on me today, I'm going to find my fan and I'm going to put my boots on your ground. I'm not playing with you, Tyler. Sure enough, I'm sitting here. We got a whole kerfuffle of not so great acting right there in the beginning. This whole thing, Bridget, it's a no. It's a no. Okay? Bridget and Vaughn are my throwaways anyway of the whole storyline, and I'm loving my time with this show. But of the whole storyline, Bridget and Vaughn are my throwaways. You could throw them all the way in the garbage and it would not change anything, period, other than I wouldn't be aggravated. Because I am at a point where I damn near be wanting to fast forward through their scenes. Okay? So, yeah. That whole, he was ready to commit Harry Carey, but he didn't really commit Harry Carey. And we had all of this going on, and it was 10, 15 minutes worth of bad acting. And found out he really didn't do it. He really just was trying to get some attention. And I just was like, it ruined my watching experience. Now, I don't know. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Don't say I'm dark, or you already know that. I'm dark. Look at me. I'm dark. Black, blackity black. Listen, if you write me a dark storyline, deliver me the dark storyline. I don't like that. I just don't like that plan and commit. Commit to what you wrote. Commit to what you wrote. This was all a ploy set up by Todd to come back to us with the bullshit. So Vaughn only did that to get some sympathy and to try to get old boy to drop the charges and all of this kind of carrying on. It was all meant to play in the face of Bridget. And I'm like, now old boy's better than me. Because at the end of it, let me tell you what I'd have did in real life. Because see, in real life, you know it's a crime to play that whole game of, oh, I'm going to harm myself. If you are found you're going to harm yourself, guess what you're not going to do? Be hanging around with normal people. Nobody's leaving you out here jumping off of bridges, trying to hurt yourself with firearms or none of that stuff. You will be locked up. Now, maybe you won't be down at Mrs. Furthington's finishing school for girls, but you will definitely be in a facility where they will take a good look at you for 24 hours a day and make sure that you're not harming yourself. You will not be walking around in the street with the rest of us playing these games. You will not. You will not. Once it is knowledge, public knowledge, that you have those type of suicidal tendencies and things, oh no, baby, you don't get to walk around with the rest of the people. No, 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 no. So, oh boy, no, I wasn't boxing. I wasn't boxing, but you got all these witnesses as to what went down and what he said and how it went, and all these people were affected, and it was in this church. This church is full of cameras. Lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up. And you could go visit him, Bridget, and cry through bad acting on your own time. Because I'm not interested in it anymore. Period. Moving right along. We went through, I couldn't believe I sat there 15, 20 minutes for them to get down to the other end of it and say, he hung up the phone. That whole thing just irritated me. I'm sorry, y'all. It could just be me. Y'all tell me. That's the one thing I love about my people who come over here and support me and my channel, is that y'all will talk to me straight from the heart, whether I like it or not. Y'all tell me, no, James, I don't like that. And no, James, you're being too hard. And I expect it. So I'll be looking in the comments to see what y'all think. Are you thinking I'm being a little too harsh? And then maybe I'll revisit it. I don't know, but I'm telling you from the dome how I feel. I feel like I got 20 minutes of my life that I can't get back, and I damn sure could have been doing something different. I damn sure could have been doing something different. I could have been eating a half a grapefruit. Shit. Anyway, moving on. So all that irritated me. Myron, now the only best part in there is that Rashida and Myron, honey, y'all are wife-in-laws. And Rashida ain't got you to do Myron. Myron in there doing the most. She told him, said, Myron, we don't need you. I said, leave the room, Myron. Learn when, see, a lady knows when to walk away quietly. Now you playing around with this woman's husband. Go make yourself scarce, girl. Go somewhere and sit down, Miss Myron. You doing too much, girl. You really are. And I'm going to tell y'all, it's ridiculous. And we're going to get to it. But Geneva and Tiffany, it's very evident. And it's this whole thing. She asked her, are you avoiding me? Like I text you and stuff and you just didn't answer me. And it's clearly what she's doing. And she said, she blamed the pretty lady, but it's clear something is off. Something is off. And Tiffany, you don't want to see it because you want to lay up underneath Jovan, and in your soul that something is off, but you just don't want to know. Hakeem and Naomi, whole mess. So we got a whole full-on nude scene of Miss Naomi. She over there doing her whole dominatrix thing with him. She choking him out. He got mad and told her, I am not your husband. I'm not him. You trying to kill me. He's like, I told you my safe word. He banged her. He had to down there and beat her up because she wasn't listening to the safe word. She was giving him that work. And I just laughed at them. They go through all of that and they like it. They like the dangerousness of each other. They really do. They're both wicked. They're both wicked. They get to this whole thing. She wants him taken out, and she's decided that she wants the wife taken out too. Told him, I'll give you $500,000 for each of them. She told him, you call me mistress. A whole mess. And once she told him who her husband was and all this, he's like, wait, that's a little too high profile. I ain't never, did nothing like this. And then they're going back and forth. They had this back and forth about the money. And she's like, I'll give you 10%. He's like, 10%? It was just ridiculous. It was ridiculous. But she wants to give him $1 million to take the both of them out. Wicked. Wicked. So see, here's the part. Here I go. Back on you, Tyler. Come here and sit in front of me for a second. So you going to write me a story where somebody is just willing to give up $1 million to take out two people, totally high profile. You want me to believe that, but you don't want me to believe that this is a wicked enough circle for some nobody who ain't about nothing to actually be disturbed enough to get in their feelings and off themselves. Commit to what you write, Tyler. And I don't know how many times I got to say that to you. I don't know. You just ain't listening. You think your formula works. I don't know. It pisses me off. Commit to what you write. You set Vaughn up in such a way that, yeah, we definitely believe that he's weak enough to have offed himself. He's weak enough to have offed himself. And then you switch up and you go over to church with Medea. Medea ain't got nothing to do with this. Leave her out of it. He should have been gone. Gone. There should be no more storyline that involves Vaughn. Except for a funeral. You could have gave us old nasty piece of messy funeral. You could have wrote something off of that. You could have had a good time with that. You're already dark. It's already dark. But no, I didn't like the way you twisted that at all. Didn't like it. It's corny. Moving right along. It's corny. And then when you did this right behind it, it made me look at the whole thing with Hakeem. I could throw Hakeem in the garbage. That whole storyline of him going off. Franklin? Really? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I believe that not. So, one thing, those two things, they didn't rub right. It's like we're watching two different shows. Moving right along. What else happened with them? Anyway, moving on. Whenever Tiffany did have her little conversation with Geneva, and Geneva, just so ridiculous, when Geneva told her, I think you should wait a year before you sleep with Javon. What? Girl, if you don't know that something's going on, it's like I said, because you don't want to know. Just foolishness. Geneva just saying any old thing out of her mouth. It just don't even make no sense. You look so sloppy. When I tell you Javon got you all wrapped up, sister, he got you all wrapped up with the foolishness. Now, let me go on back over here to this church. Now, we got finally this face-to-face back and forth with Myron and Pastor Jeff. Why are y'all carrying this lie? Carrying this lie like, child, you got Jeff cussing in church. He cussed in church. Rashida over there cussing in church. And then they're pretending as if he ain't never called you baby before. So you want us to believe that? He ain't never called you. Y'all sitting there like, this is the sickness of down low homosexuality. This is the sickness of it. When you can live in a lie so deep that the two people involved is lying to each other about the lie they living out for other people. I said, boy, that's sick. Y'all are sick in y'all's head. You're sitting here literally acting like, I know you ain't called me baby. And I know that ain't the first time he called you baby. It ain't. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't. And we're gonna get around to it. Just hold on to the end, y'all. Hold on to the end. And all this church talk, and I'm like, who are you saying this to? Because I know y'all not trying to convince each other. Who are y'all doing it for the cameras in the church, or what are y'all doing? And then this whole, that's how God works. See, it's how God works. This, that, thing, and the other, and hell is hot and all. If you don't stop quoting scriptures and talking bullshit, the two of them, it was just burning me that the two of them are sitting here, lies on lies on lies is what it is to me. Y'all walking in a lie, talking lies about the lie y'all walking. Stop it. Just shut up, both of you. Then Jeff goes down there to the hospital. I don't know. Like I said, Jeff, you need to get your little women in check. Because that whole exchange between Franklin and Jeff, Franklin acted like a scorned lover, okay? Because I believe something going on with Franklin and Jeff too. And just bitching out, carrying on. All left, then held the money. Now you're not going to give the money. And here's another thing, Tyler. That burnt up mannequin you got laying. That burnt up mannequin you got laying over there all stiff. I said, damn. I mean, it's burnt and it's just stiff. I said, oh my God. We burned the mannequins down, Tyler. Burnt that. I said, look at her. It's burnt up. It just looked ridiculous laying over there. So I'm just laughing at that. And he told, you're here for the money. This, that, thing, and the other. I said, oh, look at her. I said, Franklin's in his feelings. You're in your feelings because it feels the same. The Myron stuff feels the same as the Franklin stuff. Like everybody's mad because Jeff ain't choosing them over Rashida. But in the reality of it all, Jeff is absolutely choosing everybody over Rashida. Everybody. Rashida is the most disrespected thing in the show. So totally disrespected. I said, wow. It's ridiculous. The treatment that Rashida gets. I'm like, I don't know. It's bad. It really is bad. Everybody's paying her no attention. None. And then you turn around, and now he's snapping out. He done got so mad. Now he done withdrew the money. He ain't gonna get the money. And he told, I got something for that bitch too. Having a good time. You hear me? When I say he's having a good time, calling Rashida a bitch at every corner, it's like that's her nickname. He calling your wife a bitch like y'all agreed upon that was the pet name you were going to allow him to call your wife. Really? I guess. Did you ever like her? Love, shit. Did you ever like her? Jealous of her, but did you ever like her? A mess. And this whole thing about she's collateral damage. Now he's threatening Rashida, and it felt like is this a bodily harm threat? Is this a destroy your career, or just everything altogether? Like he just setting out to get her like another. There's a bitch involved, but it ain't Rashida. Okay, you heard it from me. Anyway, and then finally, Jeff snap out. and got the going back and forth. But now you quoting these Bible scriptures again, and I think that's done to for whatever reason, and because y'all talking in code, because you got that burnt piece up there laying there, half zooted out, honey, stiff. Anyway, and he said, "You'll find yourself in the number of the slain." I said, it's corny Bible stuff, girl. Okay, whatever. But at least you finally stood up to him because he was talking to you like you wasn't about shit. But again, everything he said about Rashida, he talked to you like you ain't nothing. And he's really, you need to get your girls in order. You need to get your girls in order. Your whores are running rampant, Pastor Jeff. It's not cute. Moving right along. Now, Rashida and Naomi, there's this whole thing where they're like in the cars and they're all on their way over there to Naomi's. And Jeff is actually en route as well, him and Myron. And he's telling her, don't go over there after that threat was made, because yeah. And the way he was moving, he believed the threat and he believed it was something physical, as pertains to Rashida coming from Franklin, because of the way he was moving. But he's saying, don't go to her house, have her come to our house, this, that, thing, and the other. And then he said, I'll just, you're in, she's like, we're en route. He said, I'll meet you there. I said, okay. So finally, it's kicked in that maybe you should protect your wife because this is your mess. This is all your mess. So you should protect your wife. I mean, it's only the right thing to do anyway. So before we get over there, Geneva has gotten there. Geneva runs into Hakim walking around naked and all of this. And then she's coming down. She still got all her dominatrix stuff on, telling him, I told you to leave. He like, I'm eating this, that, and the other. On and on. He see Geneva and he's all like, you fine. And Geneva's like, what the hell is going on? And so she puts him out. And then she tells her, you need to go and get yourself together. You need to go get yourself together. Go somewhere. Go take that stuff off. Take a shower. Put your stuff on. These girls are on their way over here. And she gonna say, this ain't even you. Like, for real. Like, you wilding out. And I know the real you. She said, girl, I know the real you. We locked in. You and I are locked in. So she didn't reach her. She go to change her clothes and all that. She come back down. Now all the girls are there. We go into the same thing that we always go into. Naomi has absolutely nothing for Bridget whatsoever. Bridget is the one that is not wealthy like the rest of them. And Naomi reminds Bridget all the time, basically, that she's useless, that she doesn't really fit in, and that she definitely is the weakest link. Bye-bye. Okay? She's literally mean to her. Tiffany is angry, really, at Geneva. So she's like, listen, let it all rip. And also Tiffany is actually, and I'm going to give Tiffany this. I can see where this would be. She's tired of the bullshit that is Naomi. Okay? Naomi is mean. Naomi is hurtful and she's unnecessary. And Tiffany is pretty much fed up with it and how she runs over, especially how she runs over Bridget. So she was ushering it in, telling her, no, Bridget, don't run, because she's like, I'm gone. Like, I came over here to support her, and this hoe talking to me any old kind of way. She's like, I'm out. I'm leaving. And she told her, no, stay. Say what's on your mind. She like, no, because I ain't like y'all. See, all that back and forth talking with her, I'll be the jumped on her. So she like, stay, talk. So it's that little thing right there fueled the fire. Okay. So this is where we talk about the brutally honest part. And then Rashida decides to go into the tough love thing. And she gets to talking to her, and Naomi gets to telling her, Rashida, you know what? All of that is some bullshit, basically. Because see, you told me to believe in prayer, lean on God, go to the church, this, that, and the other, lean on faith. She blamed prayer and faith on everything, and then said, "Yeah." And I believed you. I leaned on faith. I went to church. I did all that. I was praying and ended up with an STI. So she like, I ain't even trying to hear that. I'm tired of all that church talk. Like, you want to tap in and let's really talk? Because I'm about sick of that. I said, I said, ooh. And so Rashida was firing right back at her. Is this what you want? You want real talk? So they was having real talk. And Rashida was getting Naomi together there for a minute. And then baby Naomi said, "You ready to get the hell up off my back." And baby, when I tell you Miss Naomi turned it. She turned it. Okay. Now, Myron is outside. Of course, Jeff is outside because Naomi don't want to see no Jeff, nor no Myron. Okay. Honey, Naomi started going around the room. She started with Bridget. Now she let Bridget know you're less than. She let Tiffany know. She said, "Girl, you're desperate." It was one of them. I told you I love that. And you, she did it down. Told Tiffany, "Honey, you just met a man less than 24 hours ago and you ready to get married, honey. Hope it don't turn out like that last one and you end up paying him too." I said, oh. When I say she was literally going into all their closets, shaking the clothes and knocking all the clothes off the hangers and hitting them all where it hurt, honey. This in Geneva, really? Really? I guess you forgot you told us that William has a 5-inch penis. So I see why you be running around acting the way you act. Mm-hmm. You want to talk about it? You want to really talk about it? I said, oh my gosh. And then she rolled around to Rashida. She saved Rashida for last because Rashida's the one that Rashida had hurt her feelings and got her in her feelings, and that's why she came out fighting, came out swinging. Baby, she told Rashida, honey. So what about Myron? We're gonna keep on pretending like that ain't happening. We're gonna pretend that Myron and your husband don't be on the phone, kiki and cackling, grinning and smiling, tell each other how much they love each other. They're like, oh no. Is that what we're going to do, sis? We're going to keep pretending like we don't know what's going on or like you don't know what's going on. I said, Jesus. She said, let me show you something, sis. And she said, you know, I got cameras all over this place. Honey, she get the flash the cameras and running back when she was up there getting dressed, she seen all of what's going on outside the house. Myron's out there. Okay. Myron's out there and Jeff's out there. Then they have their little back and forth. And then, they still talking in code and circles going on. And then we see Myron on the side of the house. Myron's talking to somebody and he's telling him, but I love him and I know he loves me too. And it's that thing and the other and on and on and on. I said, no, you ain't over there on the phone with one of your good Judys, pouring it all out. And she got you on tape. Pouring it all out. Now, here's the thing. A lot of conversations going on because some people have actually took it that they believe that Myron and Jeff never actually have done anything, that Myron actually just is in love with Jeff. You could have actually seen it that way, but I don't see it that way at all. I believe that I don't believe they're into a whole full out relationship. I don't believe that. The whole full out relationship, I believe, is with Franklin. Okay? Catch. I believe the full out relationship is with Franklin. I believe that Pastor Jeff then had a little run in maybe once or twice with Myron, and Myron is hooked. The same way that Geneva is hooked on the D with Jovan, I believe Myron is hooked on Jeff's the same way. And I believe every word that Myron is saying, that he has convinced himself that Jeff loves him, and he don't. And he don't. You're a dish rag. You're a dish rag Monday through Sunday or Monday through Saturday, and you're a cum rag on Sunday, but not every Sunday. Yeah, I said it. So I believe that something has happened, but I don't believe it's an ongoing thing. It just is what it is. I think he's the sad boy who really wants more, and Jeff never intends to give him more because he don't want no gay relationship with you. He don't. You're gay, and that's it. You're gay, sir. You ain't down low or any of that. You're one of the girls, and I don't want no relationship. I ain't one of the girls. I'm the trade. I don't want that. But I got me a relationship over here. It's a down low relationship with who I choose to be with, the man with the money, bitch. Are you crazy? Why would I have a relationship with you? You're out and about, and I pay you. I'm having relations with the man with the money, bitch. Now that's how I see it. Y'all let me know in the comments how y'all see it. But the last thing, baby Rashida was sitting there with her mouth dropped open because she'd have played it on the TV now in front of everybody. I said, oh, you took an L on that one, Rashida. And then that old nasty Naomi said, now, is your little Bible going to save you from that, Rashida? I said, oh. Baby, listen, I believe that we actually only have one more episode. I think there's actually 8 episodes, and I think this is going to go on break. And then, Tyler will do it in a minute. You'll have like part of it, and then you have another part. But never to worry. We're all in. We're still all in. He kind of ticked me off with some of this in the beginning of the episode. The end of the episode was fabulous. But we're all in. And Beauty in Black is coming back. So we won't be bored. We will still be getting our nighttime soap fix. But yeah, I'm all in. But Tyler tried to pull it on me. I got real mad at Tyler in the beginning, but he got me back at the end, baby. Miss Naomi delivered. She delivered. She sure did. And it was brutally honest. I'll see y'all in the next episode. Bye, y'all.